Welcome to the cast iron Lebanese cooking and more. Hello, my Dutch oven lovers. If you are not one of them, hope you will be soon. My dish to you today is about Namoura. Namoura, very famous in Lebanon, and it has the same syrup like they use on the baklava, and be eaten cold, is a sweet dessert. And I thought to make it for you in a way that easy to make it, and it doesn't need overnight to make the dough and let it sit at least 8 hours. Some they use yeast and flour with it. Some they don't use grated coconut, fine grated coconut, or little longer is fine. My recipe is only the main ingredients, which is the semolina, fine semolina. If you couldn't find fine semolina, you can get a coarse semolina, is fine. And no flour, and no overnight with yeast, nothing. And after you bake it, about 40 to 45 minutes, depends on your oven and depends on your skillet, or if you don't have a cast iron skillet, for you don't have, you can use your own baking pan, 11 by 15, 16 baking pan. It should have a trim at least around 1 inch, because after you lay it down, it has to be no more than 3/4 thick. You can have it 1 inch, which sometimes I use 8-inch skillet, then it become about 1 inch thick. It's better to have it less, and it will be garnished with almond. Let me show you my ingredients. I have here 1.5 cup of semolina. I have here 3/4 cup of sugar. I have here a 3/4 cup of plain yogurt. And then I have here a half a cup of coconut. I have 1 small teaspoon of baking powder. I have a 1/4 cup of canola oil. You can have little less or little more. And garnishing, I want to use a bleached split almond. It's a half one. You can use whole almond even with the skin on, or if you don't want the skin, you can soak the almond overnight, or at least 5-6 hours to 8 hours. You take the skin and then you can split it or just leave it as it is. For the syrup, I have here 1.5 cup of sugar. I have a 3/4 cup of water, and I have here a 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. For the syrup, I want to use rose water. Here it says rose water, about 1 small teaspoon. This, when I do the syrup, I will repeat it back again, show you how we want to do the syrup. Before we make the dough and put it on my 10-inch skillet, then we'll bake it. By the time we are baking, we'll make the syrup, and when it's done, we take it out, let it rest for 2 minutes, and then we put the syrup. The syrup will stay still hot. We need the syrup hot and this one hot, and it will observe everything all the way down. Then we'll leave it until cool completely. Then we can cut it and serve it. So let me go and show you how we want to do the dough first. In my bowl here, I want to put the semolina, the sugar, and the baking powder. I mix those. Now I want to add the yogurt, the oil, and the coconut. The dough will be a little bit thick. Now is all incorporated. In my skillet here, I want to spray. You can use a brush and canola oil or butter, it's up to you. I put all the dough. I want to put water here. Dip this with the water and make it smooth. All same level. Now I will get a knife. Some they can cut them at 2 by 2 inches square. Some they got them diamond. I want to go with diamond. I'm not pressing on my skillet. About 2 inch. I go like this. Now I get those. Put one in the center of each. This is how we look. Now we want to go to the oven in the kitchen and bake it. If you are camping, you can just use regular coals, and in your Dutch oven, you can cook it. And we want to bake it at 350 degrees for about 35 to 45 minutes until the top become brownish. Or you can go about 20 to 25 minutes on regular, and if you have oven with the broiler from the top, then another 10 minutes you can use the broiler. Now the skillet in the oven for baking. Let's make the syrup. This is 8-inch enameled cast iron Dutch oven. You can use your own casserole if you have, or any pot you like to make the syrup. We'll add the 1.5 cup of sugar. You add the 3/4 cup of the water and the 1 tablespoon or 1.25 tablespoon of lemon juice. Stir all together. And we'll let it go to boil, and then we'll lower the heat and let it simmer for 5-6 seconds, maximum 8. Then turn it off, and you add the rose water, 1 tablespoon of rose water. Okay. We'll put the rose water. Syrup is ready now. I'll pour it in the cup, and then we can use it on top of the Namoura. Now it has been 30 minutes. I want to put it on broiler for another few minutes and get the top brownish. Now here is the Namoura done, and I poured the syrup here in this cup, and I like to do like this, then get them even. On the end I can add with this. You think it's too much, but it's not too much. That's the way it is. It has to observe all this and cool down, and might take, depends on the weather, very hot to touch. We'll leave it this way until cool, then I cut and I show you. Here it is. Let's see how we did. These are the lines that we put them before. Still warm. Still warm. Hope you enjoyed this Namoura dessert, and you can try it. Very simple, very easy to make. About 10 to 12 minutes preparation, 45 minutes maximum for baking. And do not forget to subscribe, share, and give me your comments. Hope to see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.